I'm Channing McCorriston, the Container Guy. If you're looking to buy or rent a shipping container, you're gonna wanna watch this video. I'm gonna show you used cans, new cans, and what to look out for, because there's a lot of scams out there right now. Stay tuned. So first off, when you give us a call, we're gonna wanna know what size of container you're looking for. The two most common sizes are 20 foot and 40 foot, and we deliver the two differently. So behind me here is our deck truck. This is a tilt bed tow truck, and it's designed to tilt and drive away from the container. We do that the same way with the 40s, but we require a lot more space for a full trailer to come. So this is the unit that is gonna have to show up at your site. So make sure that you have room when we get there to handle this type of trailer, because we need lots of room to tilt, drive straight away until the container comes off our deck, and then we can start turning. Now, let's walk over to our other trailer. I wanna show you when we bring 40s, 45s, and 53s, we have another self-unloading trailer. It is pulled with a semi, and so this typically was going to go to commercial, industrial sites, farms, things like that, where you have tons of room to turn around. And what's really important to tell your salesperson is which way you want the doors loaded. So we can load the doors either to the front or the back. And so when we tilt and drive away and you're putting it into a bush, you are not gonna be able to get into that can if they're loaded to the back. Our specialized delivery trucks and trailers all either have a winch or a chain drive in the deck. These chain drives are awesome because they can either push containers off the trailer or pull them on. And so with this specialized equipment, we can deliver you units and very carefully pick them up. So for rentals, you know, as nice as we can be to your guys' driveways or your farmyard, grass, wherever you're putting your container, we'll do our best. But that is one thing to note, is we're not delivering pizzas here. These are huge containers, and they can do damage, and so try to get them on blocking where we're putting them. A lot of times with our rental units, we will send the driver out with blocking, and so if you're not from our area and not able to support us, make sure that your local container guy is doing that and protecting your concrete, because it can and it has happened where you can, especially the beautiful stamped concrete driveways, you can wreck those things. So now let's go show you some sea cans. So if you're price conscious, typically your best bang for your buck is a used 40-foot shipping container. These here, there's not often a lot of difference between a used 20 and a used 40, and so you get double the size for a little bit more in price. So that right there is something to save you money. But what you can expect with used cans is there's gonna be dings, there's gonna be dents, there's gonna be rust, and they might come with the shipping line's decal still on there, and so it's a bit of an eyesore. If you want something that's pretty, you're gonna have to jump over to the one-time use condition. Now, it's important to note, we call these one-time use because they've been used once. We try not to advertise them as new containers, because if you open up the doors and you see tires from the forklift who's unloaded the freight from the cargo that's come from China, where they're all manufactured, and you're thinking you're getting this brand new Cadillac. No, you are not. You're getting a shipping container, and it has been used once. So behind me here, this is our pile of double door units. 40-foot high cube and standard double doors. That terminology means that there's doors on both ends, which is very nice. Often you spend about $500 more to get a double door unit versus a single door. And for us to manufacture, install a door in the back end of a can, or install a very well sealed, secure set of doors like that in the back end, it could be a couple $1,000s. So saving a ton of money by going double door. It's a great idea on 40s because they're long. You put something at the back and you got a big mess on the floor. Even if you wanted whatever was stored at the back of your sea can, you probably don't have access to it, and you just end up going and buying another one, which is a real shame. So there's also specialty units. We have containers that have doors all along the sides. Pile's actually just over there, and it's covered by some 20s, but those are real nice too, but they get real expensive once you get into the open sides. So there's the cargo doors on the sides, and then there's some that the entire side opens up, and that gets pricey, but it's super handy, especially for businesses that are in and out of their containers all the time with their forklifts or bobcats or whatever, just needing access with the pallets. So behind me here, up on top, high cube double door, below is just doors on one end. One thing to notice on new containers, new 40s, they'll actually have fork pockets, but all the used 40s will not have fork pockets on the side. They do that so sometimes other container guys, they don't have the top lifts or the side lifts that lift on the corner posts like we do. They only have forklifts, and then it makes it easier for those guys to handle these things. When they don't have a top lift, then when they're handling their 40s, often their forks will lift up the floorboards and damage their containers. So, I mean, if you're buying from a local company and they have a big lift, you know they're reputable, and you know they're not gonna wreck your container after you've been to their facility and looked at it. And that's something that I really wanna cover on too, is that there's a lot of people that just sell shipping containers right out of depots. They'll be in California and they're trying to sell containers in Eastern Canada or Eastern United States. And you don't want to deal with those people, even if they're slightly cheaper. You want to deal with your local guy, people that have employees on the ground. They're going through the containers. They're making sure that the doors work properly. They're making sure that it's swept out and clean. There's no holes in it. Here we go through every single container and we do what we call a daylight test. So you close the door on yourself and you walk around, and if you see any peepholes or something, we fix it. We have welders on staff. We have patches to patch small holes. We have every single shipping line's paint color in stock here so that we can touch up the corner post, make it look prettier, and just make sure that we don't drive 200-300 kilometers or miles away to deliver a unit and then find out that it's damaged and have to turn around and go back. So just even for ourselves and our own comfort of making sure that we're giving you a good product, we make sure that, yeah, we go through them first ahead of time. And you're gonna get that from your local guy. You're not gonna get it from the person across the planet trying to sleaze containers out of your area. Another thing to note about containers right now, if you're on Craigslist or you're on Facebook Marketplace, they are ripe for scams. So there's people that are advertising half price. So if everyone else is $6,000 and you found a container for $3,000, guess what? It's too good to be true, and it isn't true, and you will get all your money taken. And these people are impersonating businesses just like ourselves. We have people that say, hey, I'm the container guy. They're posting my videos and advertising containers, and then when they give you the email address where to send the money, it's just some random person's name. So don't send money to a Gmail address. Make sure that the domain name is the business. If you're concerned and something seems scammy, find the actual website. Give the business a phone call. Talk to an administrator there. Make sure that you're dealing with the business. There's some people that are so bold, they'll send you to our yard and say, oh, don't talk to them though, or don't tell them that you're dealing with me because I'll get you a better deal. It's a scam. We don't consign units in our yard, and a lot of people out there don't do that either. And so don't be scammed. But now that I've warned you all that, we definitely better get over to the 20s and show you those things. So let's go. So behind me here is our one-time use 20-foot standard shipping containers. This is your most common 20. If you're buying a 20, there's often not a lot of price difference between a new 20 and a used one. A lot of people, oh, I'll buy a used one and then pay to get it painted. Well, now it's the same price as a new one anyway, and you have this damaged, pre-rusted container. So 20-foot one-time use with doors on the back end for residential storage, things, maybe household contents. Amazing container to buy. And when you go the one-time use condition, these things last. Like we have, I mean, my own family, my grandma's contents are in a used container for the last 20 years, and it looks the same as it did from 20 years ago. So a new one, they're gonna last 100 years. Yeah, your stuff's safe. There's no dust. They're rodent proof. They're wind and watertight. It's a great place to store, and then super clean. So you can put your mattress right inside these things and you're not worried about covering it up with plastic. So yeah, that's a great size to purchase between the new 20s and the used 40s. That's our most common container that we sell. And the used 20s, I already showed you what the used 40s look like. They look very similar, just half the size. So I want to jump inside this thing and show you what the new ones look like inside, and then we'll show you the used containers and see the difference. So what's nice about one-time use containers is that they come with a lockbox on them, or they typically do, from factory. So now all you have to do is buy that 80 millimeter container modification world shackle lock. and also is they have waist height handles. So the handles, you get a lot more leverage being waist height, where used containers, they're meant to be opened when they're on a chassis of a trailer, so the handles are way down here and you're bending over. And then another cool thing that they've come out with now is Flexbox's patented easy open door that you can, it gives you just a single handle and you get a ton of leverage. So it's just, you know, doesn't take anything to open them. So yeah, new containers, beautiful on the inside, super clean. We'll give you a little tour of this thing. Come on in. So she's awfully echoey in here, but yeah, this is a one-time use container. Nice clean walls. The floors are 1.125 inch teak plywood. They handle 20,000 pounds in 1 single square foot, so they're super strong, super durable. You can drive your forklift in here. There's nothing you're gonna put in here really that's too heavy for residential and commercial storage, non-industrial, I guess. But yeah, another thing I guess to note on new containers, for us, we order extra factory vents. So if people aren't installing the big Air 45 vents, at least these vents that ventilate the size of a nickel, we put 12 of them on our new containers. So 12, what is that? 60 cents? 60 cents worth of venting rather than the big Air 45s. So let's go check out a used 20 now. So here's a used 40. We'll show you a 40 this time just to see the difference between the size on the interior. But as I was saying, it's got the lower door handles now, so you're gonna have to bend down a little bit to open it. And it's got some damage on the door seal. So here, this door has been pushed in, this hinge is cracked, and so now we won't send this to a customer like this. We're gonna go through this, we're gonna fix that, get the doors working properly, and then once, you know, QC gives the old check mark to this can, it will be available for sale. If ever there's a can that's, you know, unrepairable or just sold as is, we have a customer for everything, but it's always disclosed to the customer. If there's an issue with it, we give a deal, customer doesn't care. Perfect, everyone's happy. But yeah, you don't want to just deliver something and surprise, surprise, you got an unfit can for delivery. So jump inside this. Speaking of holes, so this here I can see now is different than a lot of the traditional used containers that we get in. Usually they're off lease, so a leasing company would lease them to a shipping line for say 7 to 12 years, and then once that term is up, then we purchase them. But this actually was on a job site prior, and I can tell that because there's hooks welded to the wall, there's perfect circles drilled in the side, maybe power was coming in, and then a lot of screw holes on the wall. So that's why that door was damaged, is someone probably ran into it with a skid steer or something. And one thing to note, if you do have a whole bunch of these holes in here, it sucks fixing them. Welding them, you burn the paint, you do worse. So little note to yourself, if you ever do get a bunch of pinholes in your can, just throw rivets in there and then some sealant on the inside. She's fixed. But yeah, this gives you the feel of a 20. This is a standard height. Again, the last one was a standard, so the high cubes are 1 foot taller if you're looking for some extra height. And yeah, so there's dents everywhere. It's kind of like a pregnant cow in here, bowed out, and what you're gonna get if you're looking for a used container. But you can save money by going used, and I guess, yeah, hopefully this helps you shop around for a shipping container. If you're renting containers and not purchasing, we always send out the one-time use condition. So don't be concerned, you're not going to get this style of a container or this damage, of a unit. We're gonna send you something that's gonna keep your valuables nice and safe. So let's close the door on this container and close this chapter of the video. Those worked surprisingly well. A lot of times with used containers, they do not work that well. And so that was very nice to see, especially when all the weight's on that corner and nothing's here. A lot of times the doors can shift, but I can see it's sitting nice by the door seal and where they normally sit, and with the weight of a container on top of it. So that was a nice, pleasant surprise. Don't have to fix that. But yeah, that can's damaged there. That's not something we're gonna send you on a rental, so don't worry. But they are for sale. So if you're looking to buy a container, check out our website. If you found value from this video, please help us out. Give it a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to our channel. And as always, check us out at tcg.ca. Hope you learned something.